I'm James Kirk,
I'm Michi Hoyer,
and you're watching simnews.tv.
Hello and welcome to the 6th and final round of the WCS $1,000 knockout. Today coming to you from Nola Park in the USA. Join us in qualifying as Kostas Galanamatis sets the first time to beat 118.666. And Germano Zappala also crosses the line 32.314. So Zappala and Galanamatis, to be fair, not having the best of laps. So look for times to drop. See who is on a lap. Yoni Simoncic, the current championship leader, he's got 2 purple sectors as he's coming around the twisty final section through turn 13, 14, and then on the run down the final straight. He's going to hold it tight to the right. Simoncic 13.2, new fastest lap of the session. That's a legitimate pole position attempt from Yoni Simoncic. Of course, there's a bonus point on offer for pole position as Vlad Tokarev rounds the final corner in this super pole session. Tokarev running all the way out to the left-hand side, down the pit wall, down the start straight. He goes second on a 0.417. A good lap from Tokarev. Just behind him on the road is Michi Hoyer, and he's going to cross the line at 1 minute 12.565. So Michi Hoyer to provisional pole position. And then we have nobody out on a flying lap right this second, although Eros Masculi is gearing up for one. So let's jump on board with Eros, the man currently 3rd place in the chip. We can take you around a nap over. He's got his teammate Germano Zappala in front of him to try and give a bit of a tow, I would imagine. Not sure what Zappala's up to. But Masculi crosses the line to start the lap. And down the start, finish straight. Zappala's going to move aside. He's going to find himself probably DQ'd from the session. Tight turn 1, off to the right. Big sweeping turn 2, round to the left. Masculi using all the road, a little bit of curb on exit. round the very sharp turn 3 that then widens out slightly into turn 4. Then round turn 5 and back onto another short straight before a nice 45-degree turn 6. There is a nice bit of exit curb there to use. Similar turn 7. And Masculi hits it pretty well. And he's going to run round through turn 8. That's pretty much flat. Down towards the very fast 9 and 10. And these cars, like, it is pretty much flat out. And then continue the run along the long straight. As Dawid and Rock ahead of Masculi. Potentially could be lapping up a bit of slipstream. 11. Straight back the other way into 12, and then tightens right up into 13 as Mrocek gets out the way. Round 14, Eros Masculi out of the final corner. He's going to run wide, and then he's going to run down towards the line. Eros Masculi, he goes second on a 1 minute 12.576, so 11 thousandths off Michi Hoyer, even with his teammate Germano Zapala deliberately being disqualified to get him a slipstream. And now eyes on Dawid Mrocek as he is now rounding turn 3 and 4 on the run out to turn 5. Very long corner this feels like. Then out towards the quick stuff, 6, 7 and 8. All nice 45-degree corners. Using the exit curb there is Mrocek. Big brakes for 7. And then round 8. Mrocek 29.7 in the first sector. So not super great, but not bad either. Through the flat out section of 9 and 10, and on the run down to turn 11. Here comes Mrocek late on the brakes. Makes the apex. Straight into another change of direction. Decent sector 2 though from Dawid. He's going to now have to fight through the twisty third sector. And on the way out, using all the exit he can. And on the straight down to the line, Dawid Mrocek. 113.226 puts himself into third place provisionally. As there you see the final driver in the session, Kirill Birakov, leaving the pit lane. He's the man currently second in the drivers' championship. Of course, best 5 scores from 6 to count, so we will know the full result after the event today. Although it is highly likely that Simičić will hold on from Birakov and then from Eros Masculi, but obviously still an event to go. Things can change. Top 3 in the Drivers' Championship receiving a share of the prize pool, as well as the driver who scores the most points here today is going to be the recipient of $100. So still things to play for even if you're out of the championship hunt. And that all starts with the point for pole position, which currently is going to Michi Hoyer, which is a nice little shake-up. I think I'm just going to double check back to make sure I'm right. But it has been Simičić or Birakov on pole every round since round 1 when Matthew Williams took pole. So will Birakov be able to dethrone Hoyer as he goes on the run down to turn 1? Looking for late braking. Just about avoiding the inside curb, using the runoff on the exit, holding it tight through turn 2, and then on this short shoot to turn 3, looking to not go in too late because of course the corner opens up, which is quite a unique challenge for drivers. Most corners tighten or hold. Round turn 5, using all the available circuit on the exit. On the run up, turn 6, leaving a nice train of tyre smoke. Oh, and Birakov, oh, he's lost it. Kirill Birakov spins through on the way out of turn 7. He's going to get back up through turn 8 and put his foot back down. But that has almost guaranteed the pole position for Michi Hoyer. I think at this point, Birakov now screaming down towards turn 11. Late on the brakes, using the curb on the way in. Rounding turn 12. Then back the other direction for 13. Tiny little straight for 14, and he uses the back end a lot to get the car turned in. Out of turn 14 and down the start finish straight. Kirill Birakov to the line. He is going to do a 117.455. Good enough only for 6th position. So he's beaten out Kostas Galalamatis. So that ends qualifying here for round 6 of the WCS $1,000 knockout. And pole position goes to Michi Hoyer. So that's a nice little change up from the books. Alongside him is going to be Eros Maskuli, Davor Mocek, Yerny Simoncic, Vlad Tokarev, Kirill Birikov, Kostas Galanamatis, and Germano Zapala. It's going to be starting from the back. We're going to throw it now to a break, but we'll be back with all the action from race 1 momentarily.
Hi guys, Scrutineer here for simnews.tv and you're watching WCSLeague $1,000 knockout. So what's it all about? Well, there's $1,000 and there's 30 drivers of some of the best Rfactor 2 drivers on this planet, all battling out for $1,000. We've got 6 rounds, 3 races each round, 10 laps each time, really exciting racing. But that is not the end of it. We are calling a knockout here, so that literally means you are driving around and you are knocked out if you're not fast enough. So from laps 3 through to 8, if you are in the slowest few on that particular lap, you will be eliminated. Doesn't matter what position you're in, you are gone. We battle it out with the final 4 for the last 2 laps, and they battle out for the win. First 2 laps, no one's eliminated. It's just a normal start race, get some positions, get some battling going, and then settle in for some knockouts from lap 3 onwards. Race 3 as well, we have a reverse grid. The top 10 are reversed, so that could be really, really exciting in race 3. Some people battling through, do you risk it, do you not? One error here, guys, and you will be out, because you will be in the slowest few times and you won't make that final 4 and that chance to win the race and the money. Make sure you're watching. Really exciting concept. I hope you agree. Enjoy the broadcast.
Hello and welcome back to the 6th and final round of the WCS $1,000 knockout. Today coming to you from Louisiana Indy Grand Prix, also known as NOLA in the United States. The driver is currently in a warm-up session. My name is Mike Bell. Behind the cameras, as pretty much always this season, Alex Skinner. And we'll be awaiting race 1 in just over a minute. Driver's getting back out on track, learning the slightly different grip levels that the later session would provide, and as you can see, moving slightly towards dusk conditions here at NOLA. Times start pouring in on the warm-up session. Currently, Germano Zappala heads the field. He's going to be looking to have a good race 1. Had a bit of a poor qualifying, and I think then deliberately threw himself to the back of the grid by trying to aid his teammate Eros Masciuli into getting that pole position. Masciuli missing out by 11 thousandths or something really small like that to Michi Hoyer. The Hoyer looking to start the event as he means to go on. The drivers are going to get their final pre-race briefing, and then we'll be moving to the race any session. There is, of course, 8 drivers, so there'll be 4 eliminations on lap 8 and the final 4 race to the finish. The final little bit of briefing going in. Moving to the race session now. The Rfactor man is going to do his thing. Drivers are going to grid up. Back to the slightly lighter conditions that we had in qualifying, simulating, of course, on the next day. And in 50 seconds or thereabouts, we're going to have seen all the drivers out on the grid, and then countdown to the first race here of the WCSLeague $1,000 knockout will start. As mentioned before, the driver that scores the most points this event will be receiving $100. Currently, that is led by Michi Hoyer, owing to his point for pole position. So we'll see how it plays out. One other bonus point is on offer for today, and that is to the driver who sets the fastest lap, of course, or over the course of all 3 races that make up this event. So keep an eye out for that. Just waiting for the final drivers. Everybody's gridded up. So it's Michi Hoyer from Masciuli, Mrocek, Simoncic, Tokarev, Birkov, Galnamatis, Zappala, and the lights are out. Or the flagman drops the flag, should I more accurately say. And away we go. And the top 4 there breaking away. Hoyer moving to defend. Masciuli trying to get at the inside, but backside of it. Oh, and the 2 ACR cars tangle. And they've taken Zappala with them. Okay, that is pretty big. Zappala falls to the back, so does Journey Simoncic. Darren Mrocek now being attacked by Kostas Galnamatis. I think he got away the best out of all of that, but just going to have a quick little look and check for damage on those cars. Mrocek looks fine, so does Simoncic, so does Zappala, at least from the front end, so potentially not the way they want to start. Hopefully all their cars are pretty okay, but that's going to leave Michi Hoyer with a lead from Eros Masciuli. And then Mrocek recovering into 3rd already, ahead of Galnamatis, Birkov, Tokarev, Simoncic and Zappala bringing up the rear as we head onto the back straight for the first time. Of course, this is good from Hoyer. If he's got the head of the grid, he can control the race, set the pace he wants to set, and then gun it when the time is right. Eros Masciuli, I don't think is going to be too concerned yet with making the pass on track. Might just drop back and see if Hoyer potentially gets eliminated and then make his move, but still several laps to go before we reach that moment. As in behind Mrocek, starting to reel the top 2 back in. Galnamatis in 4th, ahead of Birkov and Simoncic, who are probably going to both be needing to make some ground up. The odds of either of them winning from here are relatively slim. They've got Mrocek, Masculi, Hoyer all 5 seconds or so up the road, and Gallimatis just ahead of them. Tokarev and Zapala going with them as well, so nobody being left behind early, which is always good to see. Obviously, led the first lap. Michi Hoyer currently holding on to the fastest lap, but that will almost certainly change, certainly this time around, as times begin to tumble. Around the final couple of corners, very tight, dirty air will be playing a factor there. So, good track, lots of benefit from slipstream available, also lots of negatives in the dirty air. So you want to be making the move on that back straight if you are in the position to, rather than being stuck behind through turns 11, 12, 13 and 14. We're going to go again, first set of representative times in, and Mrocek sets the fastest lap of the race. But interestingly, Gallimatis managed to invalidate his time. If he does that on an elimination lap, he'll be classed as the first elimination. So Gallimatis needs to watch his step, needs to not stray too far off the racing surface. But interestingly, the top three all over a second faster than Simoncic, Birkov, Zapala and Tokarev on the opening lap. And in fact, Birkov 1:16.0. He's clearly looking after his tyres and aiming for a sprint finish. Obviously, the gaps between the top three in the championship right now not that close, so potentially all three of the championship contenders looking just to get to the end rather than too desperate to win. Other than for the $100, but that will be a case of consistency. The way to win that is to get to the end all 3 times, as has been the case this season. Nobody's managed to score max points. We've had a 60 point out of, I believe, Simoncic earlier in the season, but no magical 62s. Indeed, sure enough, actually it was from Kirill Birkov back in round 2, scored the big 60. There is a drop score to consider here, so that does close things up a little bit, but without the full range of scores, that'll be relatively difficult to work out. But everybody still going, and the cars who got tangled up in the first lap, so that would be Simoncic, that would be Mrocek, that would be Zapala. None of them really looking like they're struggling from it, so that's always good to see people recovering. And because of the format, it's not really hurt them too badly in terms of their chance to score big points. And around we go again, on to the next time by. Michi Hoyer starts them off 13.6 from Hoyer. Gallimatis again, it invalidates his lap. He needs to be really very careful. He's only managed to do 1 valid lap this race, so I'm not sure where he's straying off, but needs to stop doing that, or else he's going to be in trouble when the eliminations come. Simoncic 13.5 was the fastest that time by, so Simoncic starting to turn the wick up just a little bit. The lead 3 all in the mid to upper 13s. 13.6 for Hoyer, 8 for Masculi, and 7 from Mrocek. They're all just floating around each other as Mrocek is dropped back from Masculi a little bit this time by. The Hoyer actually extending that gap by a couple of tenths, so Michi going out for this win. Trying to push, trying to go as fast as he can while saving as most tires as he can for that 1 key lap. All he's got to get through, owing to the number of cars in this race, is across the line yet again to finish the 5th onto lap 6, so getting close to elimination time. 1.2 seconds is the gap from Hoyer to Masculi. And once again, Kostas Gallimatis, Kostas Gallimatis, mistake, Kostas Gallimatis, the fastest driver on that lap. I misread my standing sheet, although pretty much the entirety of the top 5 all hitting 13.6, 13.7. So everyone moving at a bit of a consistent pace now. Still Birkov taking it easy Zapala's go. I'm not sure if Zapala is just going with Birikov or if he's stuck behind him at this point, but Zapala, whatever happens, he invalidated that last time by. Tokarev at the back still, but obviously he might just be saving his tyres the most. We'll have to wait and see, and sure enough, on cue, Vlad Tokarev pops in a purple first sector. As, oh, that is big, that's Kostas Gallimatis. I don't know how on earth he's done that, but that was a Marshall's post he'd hit. Way off on the infield, and Kostas Gallimatis is out. So that now means only 3 drivers to be eliminated. But Gallimatis, that was... I have no idea what happened there. I just saw someone falling down the order, picked to him, and he had no rear wing, and he was off in the infield somewhere, so... Not sure what happened as Vlad Tokarev slams in a 13-0. That's comfortably the fastest lap of the race. Now he needs to carry that speed one more time, as this lap, I believe... No, my mistake, it's the next time by. So Vlad Tokarev starting to build the pace up. Zapala dropped back from Birikov. Simoncic is in a nice little spot of his own. Rotchek and Maskuli are about a second apart. Hoyer still leading the way. As around we go again. Hoyer rounding 13. A tiny little straight for 14. Careful not to run wide and accidentally go down the pit lane. And out of the final turn, runs to the line yet again. Michi Hoyer starts the elimination lap. Yep, starts the elimination lap. And leading from Maskuli, Mrocek, Simoncic, Birikov, Zapala and Tokarev at the line. And Tokarev right behind Germana Zapala. Now, has Tokarev mistimed his kick, or is he going to try and overtake Zapala without losing too much time? That will still remain to be seen. Tokarev 12.9 fastest lap, so even if he does go out, that's a strong contender for fastest lap of the race. As Hoyer instantly purple, first sector, 29.3, beaten by Simoncic, 29.1, and 6s from Maskuli and Mrocek. How will Birikov do? 29.3, 29.4 for Zapala, 29.6 from Tokarev. He's mistimed his kick, I think. He's got some time to make up. As they come through Sector 2, purple Sector 2 from Hoyer. 23.6, 23.7s from Maskuli and Mrocek. They're right together. 23.6 from Simoncic. As here around the final turn, Michi Hoyer is going to cross the line. He is going to take the first time to beat. 12.7 from Hoyer. 13 flat from Maskuli. 12.9 from Mrocek. Simoncic across the line. 12.4. That's the new fastest lap. Here comes Birikov. Here comes Zapala. And here comes Tokarev. And we've lost Tokarev. We've lost Maskuli. And we've lost Mrocek. Apologies there for the pause in commentary, as we had to sort out the knockout. David Mrocek and Eros Maskuli, both second and third on the circuit, eliminated once again. And Vlad Tokarev, who was the fastest driver before the elimination round, he also fell. So a bit of an oddball elimination round there, but whatever the case, that has left Michi Hoyer in the lead. 6 seconds to the good from Jurni Simoncic, who's holding the current fastest lap of the race at a 1:12.440. Birikov in third, a little ways back from Simoncic, but Germana Zapala is close enough to Birikov that if Birikov does make a small mistake, Zapala is going to be all over him. Hoyer crosses the line, 14.6 his previous lap. Hoyer now just trying to get the car to the end. 12.8 from Simoncic, 12.8 from Birikov, 14.1 from Zapala. So you can see who's pushing and who's just content with getting the car home. As here we go, rounding turn 6 on the final lap. Michi Hoyer, he's got 4 seconds of lead to Simoncic, and Simoncic is closing at a frankly quite alarming rate. but Hoyer only has to get to the end of this lap, and there's only one more technical section. This is all flat out. The cars with fixed setups are going to be basically the same on top speed, so we're not going to be seeing too much ebbing and flowing in the gap down towards turn 11. Round the right-hander, round the left of 12, up the short chute of 13, and around turn 14, the final corner. Michi Hoyer leads from start to finish and is going to cross the line to take the win in race 1 of the final round of the WCS $1,000 knockout. Yerny Simoncic made absolute mincemeat of him on the last lap, but it was too little too late. Kirill Birikov is going to cross the line in a strong third position once again, and Germano Zapala does very well as Simoncic, after being tangled in that first corner to bring the car home in fourth. So the full rundown is going to be Hoyer wins from Simoncic, Birkov, Zapala. David Mrocek is going to be fifth ahead of Eros Mesculi, Vlad Tokarev, and Kostas Galanamatis is going to round out the result of race 1. We're going to throw it to another quick little break while we get everything sorted, and then we will be back with you for race 2 of the WCS $1,000 knockout. Hello and welcome back to the 6th and final round of the WCS $1,000 knockout. Coming to you from Nola in the United States. Just had race 1 come and go, and Mitchie Hoyer led a solid lights to flag victory to take his second win of the season. And therefore the provisional event lead, Yoni Simoncic took the fastest lap so far, but no points guaranteed for that yet. Race 2 is coming up in a little under 2 minutes time, so we'll be ready and waiting for that. Race 2 grid set by the first race finish, so it'll be Hoyer leading off the line again from Simoncic, then Birkov, Zapala, Mrocek, Masculi, Tokarev and Galanamatis. Kostas rounding out the grid after having an incident, losing his rear wing, so not something you ever really want to see, but going to be moving to the race in a minute. A quick reminder for the drivers of the elimination format. There are going to be 4 eliminations on lap 8, and then the final 4 race to the line, so bear with us for just a second to get the briefing in, and then we'll be moving to the race session. The briefing is complete and the session is advancing, so in a little over 1 minute time the green flag will drop. Race 2 will be underway. So on race 1, a very busy start to the race. Turn 1 is of course quite a tight, a deceptively tight corner. Of course it looks nice and wide, but it's pretty abrupt apex. No real room on the runoff area after a nice wide straight, so of course everything bunches up. And we saw contact between Simoncic, Mrocek and Zapala last time out. Fortunately, Mrocek was the one who got out of it best, initially running third on the road, but then he and second place on the road, Eros Masculi, both were eliminated, along with Vlad Tokarev, who was running 7th on the road at that point, but had set the fastest lap of the race until that stage, along with Galanamatis, who was running strongly in 4th before having an accident. Anyway, the buzzers are on. Everyone look up to the man with the flag. And the flag drops and away we go once again for race 2 here at Nola. And Simoncic has got an absolute flyer. Yerny Simoncic into the lead ahead of Hoyer, and then down the middle Zapala's going for it. But Hoyer goes deep around the outside trying to retake the lead. Contact is made with Zapala. Mrocek's in there as well with Masculi. Birakov's had a poor start and is dropping to the rear of the field, possibly just to secure getting to the final 4, get a bit of clear track. Sure enough, leading out of the first couple of corners, they're past the first sector line. Yerny Simoncic with Mitchie Hoyer on his tail, and Zapala going with him, and Dawid Mrocek, Eros Masculi and Kostas Galanamatis make up the 6-car lead pack, so to say. And then Birkov and Tokarev running in tandem just in behind, as Birkov opting now to drop behind Vlad Tokarev and drop down to the back, build himself up some space, and then do his own thing with the aim of getting to that final 4. Meanwhile, on track, Germano Zapala all over the back of Mitchie Hoyer as they go through turn 13, round 14, and then out on the big long down to turn 1. The longest straight on the track, though not the longest continual flat out section. Zapala is Mrocek, and Hoyer's going to go side, and sure enough does go around the outside, and Hoyer loses the rear end, manages to gallop up again but loses spots on track to Zapala, and both Mrocek and Masculi followed through. So Hoyer down to 5th, Alan going with him is the Greek, but back in the lead Yerny Simoncic, 1 seconds to the good after the first lap, so he's going to really be just pacing himself as it stands. And sure enough, purple from Zapala. Mrocek seems to have invaded his lap. Maybe he went off on that first corner, I don't know. But Masculi and Hoyer and Galanamatis all still within touching distance, within 6 seconds of the race leader, and we drop back another 3 seconds or so. Vlad Tokarev just, getting himself a bit of clear track. I think he mistimed his attack last race because he was really putting the throttle down 2 laps earlier than anybody else, set 2 fastest laps, and then find himself touching Zapala and then eliminated owing to the air through the first sector. But this time Tokarev still in a nice piece of tarmac. Lost about 15 seconds or so on that first lap. This comes round lap 2 and is going to be still losing a little bit more, as that was a crunch. That's Mitchy Hoyer, and that's the brake marker board flying. So Hoyer, I think lucky he's not hit anything solid of turn 4. Not sure what's up with Mitchy Hoyer, but the race 1 winner seeming to fall into a bit of strife, as Germano Zapala actually going really quite quick out of the gate. He's trying to push for the on-track lead. 12.4 was the fastest lap last race, and he's already in the 12.8. So Zapala saying, damn the tires, he's going for that race lead. Sure enough, if Zapala does take the lead on track, we've already seen this event, he's willing to help his teammate out, as he basically got himself disqualified from qualifying in order to give Eros Masculi a tow. If Zapala takes the lead, will we see him back up Simoncic and the rest? That's something definitely to keep an eye on. 12.7 out of both Zapala and Mrocek, who's going with him. Eros Masculi chilling in 4th place as it stands, ahead of Galanamatis, with Hoyer and Tokarev down in 6th and 7th, and Kirill Birakov running at the back as it stands. This lead battle is quite interesting, lots of permutations. If Germano Zapala can pass Yoni Simoncic, will Simoncic retort, or will he sit and find some space? Or what's going to happen? But one thing is for sure, Simoncic is obviously a team's championship in this, but as you can tell by the liveries, Yoni Simoncic and Dawid Mrocek both running as teammates. Same with Zapala and Eros Masculi. So what will Mrocek do in this situation? Lots of interesting tangents this could flow along, as around the final corner of the 4th lap. And across the line, Simoncic leads from Zapala half a second, 1.3 back to Mrocek, and 3 seconds back is Masculi. Kalinamatis within 5, Hoyer 7.5 seconds, Tokarev still in the final corner. Kirill Birakov starting to wind the pace up just a little bit. As he loses it on that way at the final turn, does well not to save it and tank slapper back into the barrier. But Birakov languishing behind. Of course, he will start to be getting some warnings if he starts going over 30 seconds back. Although I think at this point they may be a bit moot, because the eliminations are going to be occurring at some point soon. Certainly in about 3 laps time. For now, Simoncic still leading, Zapala still putting the pressure on, so maybe Zapala just making Simoncic and by extension Mrocek work their tyres a bit. Birakov slamming in a purple first sector though, he's starting to turn the ante up. Tokarev only 5 seconds in front of him, so Tokarev's also been backing off quite a bit. But round the final turn and down the start straight, Simoncic, Zapala, Mrocek is that across the line. All through within 2 seconds, Masculi not far behind either. So if all 4 of these drivers get to the end, we will be seeing a bona fide on-track battle for the race win. But for the time being, Simoncic, I believe, just pacing himself. Zapala now matching Simoncic's pace. Both of them pulling away a hair from Mrocek and Masculi. But with Kostas Galanamatis, quickest of anybody except for Kirill Birakov on that final lap. Birakov on 12.3 takes over the 0.4 fastest lap over the event. Brilliant lap from Birakov, as Birakov is out. So I'm not sure why that is. Potentially he jumped the start or something? I don't know. But either way, Birakov swipes the point for fastest lap before being eliminated. And that's going to be him on pole for race number 3. it would be a top 10 inversion. With less than 10, it's just a full grid. So the order completely mixed up, but with Birikov out, that's a good bet for the bonus point for fastest lap. And it's going to be him on pole for race 3. But for the time being now, only 3 drivers going to be eliminated in 2 laps time. Across the line they all go. Top 5 still running dead close as Zapala makes the move for the lead and passes Simoncic in the first corner. Good move from Germano Zapala. Well, evidently he didn't think so, as he's going to be letting Simoncic back through again. And Mrocek's right boxed up with him as well now. Masculi and Galanamatis running together, and they're closing right up to this group. 5 cars in the lead group. At least one will fall the elimination lap. Michi Hoyer still a distant 6th, and then Vlad Tokarev in behind as somebody hit something. Not sure who it was, but Rfactor 2 made one of those scary noises that as a broadcaster you don't really want to be hearing. But down the back straight, Simoncic still leading. You see all 5 cars, all 6 cars in fact. Hoyer is really closing the gap on these guys. All of the blue, all of the white, and even some black in this top 6. Very nice looking field as a whole this is. Simoncic down the final, or down the straight, and this is the beginning of the elimination lap. So this is now going to be where it all counts. Simoncic leading from Zapala, Mrocek, Masculi, Galanamatis, Hoyer all in together, and they will have to wait on their fate as Vlad Tokarev is going to be crossing the line about 15 seconds behind them. So they will either need to be keeping tabs or they will have no idea what's up when it comes around. But through the first sector they go. 29-3 from Simoncic, 5s from Zapala and Mrocek, 6s from Masculi and Galanamatis. That's not good for them. A 5 from Hoyer. So as it stands, Masculi and Galanamatis under pressure. Did it go down through the very fast sector 2? Simoncic seems to be visually extending his lead over Zapala. Mrocek still hanging on in there. Masculi's backed off a little bit and giving himself a bit of a bigger gap. Same with Galanamatis. Hoyer still going with them. At sector 2, 23-6 from Simoncic, compared to 8-7, 9-8, and a 6 from Hoyer. So Hoyer looking strong. As here we go to begin the eliminations. Simoncic going to be leading across the line. 12-4, 12-8 from Mrocek, 9 from Zapala. Galanamatis 13-1. Masculi out again on a 13-2. Hoyer is going to knock Galanamatis out. And here comes Vlad Tokarev. He is going to be the final man across. Will he knock Zapala out? He does. Vlad Tokarev, new fastest laps. Great job from Vlad Tokarev. As the DQs have been dropped. So now it leaves us Yerny Simoncic leading on track from Dawid Mrocek, 2 seconds back. Then Michi Hoyer strong in 3rd in the first race. Looks like he's likely to finish 3rd in this one. And Vlad Tokarev times his kick to perfection this time, swiping the fastest lap bonus point currently away from Kirill Birikov. Is Vlad Tokarev, and he'll be going away with 4th place almost certainly, as we lost Kostas Galanamatis from the race after being disqualified, so hopefully he can sort out whatever he needs to sort out. But round onto the final lap, Simoncic leading ahead of Dawid Mrocek as they go up to turn 3, tightening into 4. Mrocek visibly getting closer, but I'm not sure it's going to be fast enough. Hoyer's backed right off the pace again, 14-2 from Hoyer, compared to the 12-9s of Mrocek and Tokarev and 13-5 from Simoncic. Hoyer just looking to ease it to the finish now, whereas Mrocek seems to be pushing to try and catch up with Yerny Simoncic, but I think it's not going to be enough, as through the fast chicane on the back straight, through 9, through 10, and on the run down to turn 11 for race 2 of the WCS $1,000 knockout final round goes into 11 Around turn 12, Mrochek catching fast. Through 13. And around turn 14, around the final corner. And on the way to the line, Yerny Simoncic is going to take another win here in the WCS $1,000 knockout. Crosses the line. Dawid Mrochek within 7/10 of him, so a good run from Dawid. Third place is going to go to Michi Hoyer as he's on his way out the final turn now. Pushed hard when he needed to and then back right the way off. Just rolls over the line with a 16.9. And then fourth place is going to go to Vlad Tokarev and rounding out the order. So, just a quick refresher. Simoncic with the win ahead of Dawid Mrochek. Michi Hoyer third ahead of Vlad Tokarev. Germano Zapala fifth ahead of Kostas Galanamatis in sixth. Then Eros Pasculi seventh. And Kirill Birakov's race came to a premature end. He's going to be finishing 8th and then will be reversed onto pole position for race 3, the reverse grid race, coming up after a quick break. Hello and welcome back to round 6 and the final round of the WCS $1,000 knockout. Coming up momentarily is the reverse grid race 3, so the final race of the season to cap everything off. Unfortunately, we seem to have lost a few drivers owing to some equipment problems. So we are going only with 6 drivers, so there'll be 2 eliminations on lap 8, then 4 to the finish. The briefing is just going in, and then the session will be changing over. And for the final time of the season, the Rfactor man is going to say his spiel. And when just a little over a minute, we will be seeing the competitors take up the grid. Unfortunately, in the interim between race 2 and 3, we lost Germano Zapala and Kostas Galalamatis, but we still have a 6-strong grid, and it is, for such a small grid, the level of talent on it is super high. So, being the reverse grid race, Kirill Birakov is going to be starting from pole position after what I assume was a jump start in the first race, and obviously only knew his time was limited, went for the fastest lap, and unfortunately was pitched to it. He's going to start from pole ahead of Eros Masculi, Vlad Tokarev, who did take the fastest lap on a good run to 4th last time. Then Michi Hoyer on 4th, then Mrocek and Simicic making up the back row as the buzzer goes on, lights up to the flag, and the flag drops, and away we go, and it's a good start from Birakov. Masculi going along with him though. All 6 drivers with a pretty even start, and sure enough, into the lead goes Masculi. Hoyer 3 wide up the inside for second. Big late break from Birakov, takes the lead from about 4th on the road. Good move from Birakov ahead of Masculi, Tokarev, Mrocek, and then Hoyer and Simicic at the back. Into turn 3 now. And Masculi up the inside of Vlad Tokarev. They're still side by side, Simicic, Hoyer, and both of them looking to get a small overlap on Dawid Mrocek at the back of the grid. And Simicic getting a bit muscled out by Hoyer there, but cut towards the front. Birakov leads from Masculi, Tokarev, Mrocek, Hoyer, and Simicic on the way down through turn 8 on the run down to 9 and 10. All the drivers knowing this is the final race of the season, their last chance to secure a win and any points towards the event victory. As it stands, it takes something to stop Yoni Simincic. Eros Masculi, though, only a point behind, so very close in at the moment. And with Tokarev currently holding the fastest lap point, means that unless somebody else takes it from him, there's no way it's going to be a tie. But across the line for the first time, Birakov leading from Masculi, Tokarev, Mrocek, Hoyer, and Simicic as fast as that. 2 seconds separates the whole grid. They are all going out to try and win this one. And with only 2 drivers to fall, their odds are 3-2 of making it through to the final. Regardless, Tokarev looking to the outside of Eros Masculi. He's going to try and power around the outside of turn 3 and 4. Up the inside of 5. Brilliant move from Vlad Tokarev. Takes second on the road behind race leader Birakov. Masculi down to 3rd. And Mrocek has just seen the overtake. He's seen Masculi's just been passed. And he's got Michi Hoyer all over the back of him. Same with Simincic. 1.8 now separating all 6 of these drivers. As we go down out of turn 8 through 9 and 10 again. And on the run down towards the tight right of 11. And the battle, Mrocek has gotten alongside Masculi. Hoyer looked like he was going to the inside, backed out of it. Simincic attacking him now, but Dawid Mrocek up to 3rd. And for the lead, Vlad Tokarev passes Kirill Birakov. Didn't quite see that, that was out of the corner of the camera. But Tokarev taking the race lead ahead of Birakov, and Birakov now having to defend from Dawid Mrocek. They're all going at it from the start. Mrocek looking to go around the outside. Birakov trying to hold it side by side through the first turn. Base given, but only just. This is good hard racing. It's a little bit of a nudge. Birakov takes flight. He's going to catch it and he's going to lose the back end. Birakov down to 6th, recovers it all very well. That was hard racing between him and Mrocek, and sadly Birakov getting squeezed out a little bit. but he hasn't lost too much time. He's already basically back in the fight as Tokarev starting to ease away now. And I tell you, if Vlad Tokarev were to pop up and win this race, that'd be a bit of a turn up for the books. Just having a quick little look, Tokarev, I think his best result all season has been 4th, and he's got it now 4 times. So that's got 4 fours as Tokarev break onto the podium. We will have to wait and see. Just notice a slight discrepancy on one of these that I'm going to now just real quick fix. There we go. All sorted as here we go again. The start of lap 4. 3 laps in the books. Tokarev leads from 1.6 from Mrocek. Maskuli 2.3. 2.7 to Hoyer. 3.5 to Simičić. And then Birk his big slide. Try and keep those tyres in good nick. He's down in 6th position. The pole man not necessarily having the first couple of laps he would wish for. But back up towards the front, Tokarev really has a good opportunity here to go out and end this season with a bang. Not really in the running for the prize money after of this event, but if he does take the win, that's going to be pretty meaningful. He's behind him on the road. Mrocek in second ahead of Maskuli and Simičić pretty much nose to tail. And sure enough, Simičić gets the run on Michi Hoyer through 9 and 10. Hoyer in the dirty air. Does very well to avoid a spin there. But that's the danger of high downforce cars on the limit of their downforce. If something is not quite right, and sure enough in that situation, the dirty air from Eros Maskuli, as well as Simičić close enough to compromise the diffuser of Hoyer. He does very well to save the spin, but Simičić up to 4th, Hoyer down to 5th, and on to the next lap we go. Tokarev 1.1 seconds in the lead, ahead of Maskuli, 1.7 back, and Simičić, Hoyer and Birkov still not giving up is Kirill. The man who is most likely to finish 2nd in the championship once the drop scores are put into effect. Unfortunately, my mental arithmetic is nowhere near good enough to work that out on the fly. And he, for now, I think he'll be happy to make it to that final 4, especially after his heartbreaking exit on race 2. But back to this lead group. Mrocek has closed the gap to just about a second. Maskuli in behind 1.6, and Simičić is about as close to Maskuli as he was to Hoyer the previous lap. Maskuli holds the car through the through the fast stuff. Lightly moves to defend from Simičić just to discourage anything brave down the inside into 11. Around the long 12 through 13 through 14, and then opening it back up again. All the drivers are going for a late apex of 14 just to maximize the straight. Tokarev crosses the line once again. 0.9 ahead of Dawid Mrocek now, as they are lapping still in the 13, so these drivers racing hard, but can still put some tyres in the bank in order to have a bit of a sprint when the time comes. 6.3 seconds separating all 6 cars. 3 seconds, well 2.8 really, separating the top 4. Here we go again. Out of the first of the sections into the fast stuff. Tokarev leading from Mrocek. Maskuli. Simičić has dropped back a visibly noticeable amount in 4th place, but Michi Hoyer is going to be keeping him honest. Kirill Birkov still tracking around at the back. He's clearly got a plan, and that plan is to get to the end of the final race of the season. Tokarev leading, Mrocek giving chase, and Maskuli in there as well. Could get interesting in a couple of laps. As it stands right now, fastest lap of the race, 13.0 from Simičić. You know, these drivers can go almost, well, the best part of a second quicker when the hammer time comes. As Tokarev to Mrocek down to 0.7 of a second. Maskuli still in there. Simičić at 3 seconds back ahead of Hoyer. Birkov dropping back a little bit more, just getting himself some space. Time to wind up before the swing. As we go around on the final safety lap before the round of eliminations. Tokarev still leading the way ahead of Mrocek, then Maskuli, Simičić, Hoyer and Birikov. Current running order. Tokarev actually pulling away a little bit in the first sector. An extra 2 tenths on Dawid Mrocek. Maskuli still hanging about 1.7, 1.9 off the race lead. Simoncic about second behind Eros Maskuli. Michi Hoyer about 4 seconds, 4.5 off of the race lead as it stands. But Birikov has taken a punt in that sector 1. Looks like pretty much, 6 tenths quicker. Birikov winding up. Definitely going to be going for a flyer and then another one, whereas everybody else might be going in a tad cold. But here they come again, across the line. This is to start the elimination lap. Tokarev leading. They're getting 14s on the build-up. Certainly everyone in the top 5 running 14s, and then Birikov smashes in a 12.3. Not good enough for the fastest lap point. Oh, and that's a big slide from Kirill Birikov. That is not going to help him when it comes to the lap time. Birikov early in trouble as Tokarev hits a marker board that had found his way onto the circuit. Hopefully nobody was actually using that as a reference because it's gone now. But around 6. Been hard on the brakes for 7. Tokarev leading. Mrocek with a quicker first sector, and sure enough the slowest first sector of anybody goes to Kirill Birikov after that slide, but barely slower than Tokarev. So Tokarev leading on track as it stands in the drop zone. He's going to need to pick this up or hope for a mistake from somebody else. There's Mrocek behind him, 2 tenths quicker. 3 tenths quicker is Maskuli, and Simoncic a massive 7 tenths quicker. Simoncic with another big purple sector. And sure enough, it seems Tokarev could be in the drop zone despite he's led the whole race so far. As out of the final corner on the run up to the line. This would be heartbreaking for Tokarev. Across the line they go. Tokarev 13.3. I don't even think that's... he thinks that would probably be a bad lap. And sure enough, Tokarev in the drop zone. It's just waiting on Kirill Birikov now. And Birikov's gone as well. So we have our disqualifications. Is Vlad Tokarev and Kirill Birikov. I think Birikov even knows it. He's just stopped doing some donuts at the back. And Birikov and Tokarev out, leaving us with our final 4. Our final 4 of the season. Mrocek leading on the road ahead of Eros Maskuli. Yerny Simoncic all within 1.5 seconds. This fight is definitely on. And Michi Hoyer has made it once again into the final 4. He's a few seconds behind. He's 3.6 off the lead. So I think he's going to just hope that something happens ahead of him or just cruise to the finish. We'll have to wait and see. 12-0 from Simoncic. Not enough to take the bonus away from Tokarev though, as he goes now hard into battle with Eros Maskuli. And Dawid Mrocek is the man running away at the front as it stands. Don't believe Mrocek has won a race so far yet. He's been in the final 3 a few times, but this would be Mrocek's first win if he could convert it. Eros Maskuli in second, defending from Simoncic, is going to only help Mrocek at this point. Simoncic sitting in third, Hoyer going with them. The fight definitely is second and third. Simoncic goes for a huge lunge, locks up the rear end, tries to, or he goes for an inadvertent block pass on Maskuli, and he almost made it work. Slid on through. Maskuli did very well to cut back underneath, retake second place. What that has done is brought Michi Hoyer into this fight. So now Hoyer only 1.3 behind Maskuli. It's gone from being a 3-way fight for the lead to a 3-way fight for second. As Dawid Mrocek checking out up the road. Only one more half of a circuit left for Dawid Mrocek. He's on the run down to turn 11. I'm going to keep an eye on this battle for a second because I feel like Simoncic might try something. Maskuli going big defense. Simoncic trying to get a better line through 11 in order to set him up in 12. Nothing going to happen in turn 12. Hoyer right with them as well. But around the final corner, Mrocek to win the final race of the WCS $1,000 knockout. Crosses the line. Very well done to Dawid Mrocek. Second place is going to go to Eros Maskuli, just ahead of Yerny Simoncic, with Michi Hoyer right on their tail, rounding out the top 4. Kirill Birikov and Vlad Tokarev being the eliminations in that order in this race. So there we have our top 6. Our event winner, I do believe, will be Yerny Simoncic. Just going to do a quick bit of maths. Oh, hang on a minute. It's not Ernie Simoncic. By the bonus point. No, sorry. No. My mistake. I think it is Ernie Simoncic as the standings minion for this race. David Carter is updating it all in front of me. But either way, Dawid Mrocek gonna take the final win of the season here at the WCS $1,000 knockout. The points gonna be added up momentarily, and we will be doing the final scores pending any penalties. Although I don't believe anyone from this race has would have anything to review. Ernie Simoncic taking a victory lap, pretty much confirmed as the champion, with Kirill Birkov second ahead of Eros Masculi third. But just waiting for the numbers to be added up, and sure enough, the event win goes to, that's 50 points to Dawid Mrocek. That's going to be 54 to Ernie Simoncic. So Ernie Simoncic is your winner here at NOLA, as well as rounding out a strong championship performance. So Ernie Simoncic going to be taking the $100 from today, as well as the first place prize. So congratulations to him. Kirill Birkov going to be second in the championship, and Eros Masculi with a strong run for third. The final numbers are put into place. And sure enough, yeah, there we have it. Well, not confirmed. We haven't factored in drop scores, but the gaps are big enough that I am confident in saying Ernie Simoncic, your winner of the WCS $1,000 knockout, of course, named after the prize pool available. So Simoncic and second place Kirill Birkov and third place Eros Masculi going to be receiving a payout for the championship position. And of course, that brings this season to a close. Keep an eye out over at the WCSLeague.co.uk, and obviously their relevant social media, as well as the Discord channel for information on upcoming leagues. The Race Room WTCR series, the signups for that are still open. Head up over to WCSLeague.co.uk for more information on that. For myself, Mike Bell, and for Alex Skinner behind the cameras, thank you for watching this whole season, and we will see you next time.